Why, hello YouTube. This is Bela Mage again, and as we are coming up on the Affliction League, one of the big questions we've been getting is, what do I do with my Atlas? What can I do with my Atlas? So, in today's video, we've come up with 10 starter trees for the Atlas that should work for your league start that are a whole bunch of different options. So, I want to say a few things about them before we get into them, and then we will blast through all of them. There will also be links to all of the trees, or probably just to a document that holds all the trees in the description. I will probably add more than is in this video to that document over the next few days as we work out some more trees. More people send me trees that we improve or like, or that are different enough. So all of that will be there. The second thing that I want to point out is a lot of questions that I get are usually, hey, how can I make money at the beginning, or what's the most profitable at the beginning? That is not the focus of this video. In my opinion, the most profitable league mechanics that you can spec into are the ones that you enjoy doing. Because if you enjoy doing them, you will do them more, and all of the mechanics are profitable. That being said, special mention for Ultimatum because it's new and I expect it to be quite profitable, but all of the other normal rules apply, and almost everything on the Atlas is profitable. So every one of these trees will work. These are all just starting areas that give you an idea of how you would spec into certain things at a league start. Go from there, make up your own trees. There'll be 100 other trees. There'll be other trees from other content creators. Pick the stuff that's fun is the important part, not the stuff that like makes the most profit. Because if you play more, you'll make more profit. So let's jump into them. So the first one is really basic and only 46 points. This is what I'm calling my bare bones progression tree. This is the order we're going to do this in. We are not going to go through all of them point by point. We are only going through this one point by point. There will be, all of them will be in the description. You'll be able to look at them really specifically if you want. But the important part is for progression. Quickest progression, this has now been proven a whole bunch of times, is to go Wandering Path and get the 100% chance for a monster to drop a connected map, guarantees your progression, guarantees your map returns, all good. All we're going to do for this one is head straight up the center, straight through the Kirak, straight through up to here and into Wandering Path. From there, I usually like to take these three for the 30% chance to get maps one tier higher, and then I come out the side here, I head to that one, get another 20%, I come out the side here, head to that one, get another 20%. Those are all of the one tier higher nodes we get. And then I fill out all the other travel nodes that with Wandering Path give you 4% chance to get a connected map. Get that up to 100. There is no point in going past 100. So this is the tree that I go for. My suggestion from here is to pick one of the other trees or a tree like yourself and spend the next 50 or 60 or so points branching out into the skeleton of what that tree will look like. And when I say branching out, what I mean is if your tree is going to be getting all of the harvest nodes, what you would do now is get all of the harvest nodes except the notables, right? And then you would head for the next harvest wheel, get them except the notable, head for the next harvest wheel, get them except the notable, spread out to the rest of your tree to where everything is, skipping the notables. When you've got your two watchstones, your first two watchstones done, that's the ideal time where you can drop Wandering Path, drop the extra pathing nodes that you've got for the connected, and spec into your real tree. All right, that's the one most people are going to know if they want to progress really quickly. One caveat on progressing too quickly: be careful. If your build can't handle progressing this quickly, or you as a player can't handle progressing this quickly, one of the biggest problems I've had with this tree is that I give it to people, they progress into red maps so quickly that they are not geared and their character can't handle it and they die repetitively and then they complain a lot. So this might actually be too fast progression for you. Depends on how you are as a player. Play that by ear. That's up to you, not me. Okay, next thing. Next one up, we've got a Blue Altar, Harvest, Expedition, and Harbinger, all in one tree. So this will be farming Blue Altars. That's a lot to be in one tree. That is, again, Blue Altars, Harvest, Expedition, and Harbinger. This is a really nice tree. This will give you a lot of mechanics to do. It won't be the quickest to complete each individual map because there will be a lot of stuff for you to do in the map. A lot of things to kill in each map. Definitely will not have map return problems because there's going to be just a hell of a lot of mobs in there. The only things that need noting on this tree, all of my trees are around about 100 points, so they're very easy to get into. What I haven't done is made decisions for you on what plants you should run. So after this point, you would be taking crop rotation if you really like crop rotation. If you don't, you would still be picking a kind of juice that you would like to focus on more. If you're in a trade league, this is probably yellow, which would mean you'd want to reduce the purple ones and reduce the blue ones so that you get more yellows. Otherwise, everything else on here is pretty self-explanatory. I quite like this tree. It will be quite good. It does not go red altars to begin with, and if you really need to really early, you can always Eldritch Gate to the other altar if you need to pick up bubblegum currency really early. All right, moving on. Next one is red altars, Expedition and Ultimatum all together. I quite like this one. And it does make use of some gates. I'm a little bit questioning here whether or not we should be using gates. There's one here. One gate here, actually, we shouldn't be using. But I don't know how to connect this side to this side without using a gate. So right now, we're using a gate for it. There may be better pathing for this somehow, but I haven't been able to see it. However, very, very useful because we get to keep our blue altars, which are what most people farm in the end game, or keep our red altars. Whichever altar we want, we get to do it because we're on both sides. So for now, I've got it set up for red altars. Red altars is going to give us all our bubblegum currency, including our GCPs. They're great. I have not picked which one of these ultimatum notables that we should get. You definitely should be getting one, if not two. I don't know which ones those will be. The market will decide that. My suspicion is that it won't be the unique one, but I'm not positive. Market will decide that. Not important, doesn't change our pathing at all. We're going to take every single one of these nodes anyway. The new ultimatum nodes seem really good. We are all just guessing that ultimatum is worth doing, but it should be worth doing. It was very worth doing an ultimatum lead, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's all that. The one thing that's up for question here is, do you want bosses or do you not want bosses? If you want ultimatum bosses, you take this wheel. If you don't want ultimatum bosses, you don't take that wheel. And if you want absolutely zero ultimatum bosses and to make the ultimatums in your map harder, you take this notable. None of that changes the pathing, so we're good. Fantastic. Tree. You've got options for a little bit more map sustain here if you need it. I'm not sure that you will, but we'll see. All right, what is the next one up? The next one up is Ultimatum and Red Altars again. However, with a focus on essences, which has 7th gated the essences. Essences are not on the tree this time, so we need to 7 gate connect them. So what we've done with this one is get our essences on the map device. Essence farming has always been good. Essence farming is going to be great again this league. Essence farming is going to make a lot of money again this league. Unfortunately, if you want essence on the map device, you have to 7th gate it. For anyone who doesn't know, all possible league mechanic options are available while 6 gateways are allocated. This notable being the 7th gate. That means we had to take all of these. Since we have to take them anyway, we made use of at least one of them to get our extra map and stream of consciousness, because this is a lot more of an Alcan Go style mapping than anything else. Comes up straight through the essences, in through the ultimatum, map sustain, 7th gate because we need it, 7th gate down here because we need it, with more ultimatum. It is worth noting that it is almost unheard of for anyone to like stone circles. So I don't see any way where anyone ever takes this and makes stone circles more likely. That seems bad. There's an argument to be made that this is a good node. The truth is, I literally don't know right now. But again, that doesn't change our pathing. We could decide that later. So that's fine. So we get essences and ultimatum out there. All of our red altar nodes, all of our essence nodes, all of our essence nodes. Map sustain up here. Ultimatum again. Again, what we want to do with these nodes is sort of up to you. These are not important. Whichever one ends up being profitable is the one we'll take, if not two. That's all we've got for this one. Very good tree. Next one, we have speed progression plus providing a whole bunch of heist stuff. So this one may or may not be relevant to you. This is going to be pretty important in our private league start. But its focus here is getting a little bit of the altar stuff, speeding through maps as quick as physically possible, and providing as much heist materials for our heisters. In a trade league, early, heist stuff is really, really profitable. If you don't want to, even if you don't want to run heist, this drops a lot of heist stuff. Probably should have had that one node there too, actually, now that I see it. So all of this, extra blueprints, all of this gives us extra smugglers caches. All of these give us more smugglers caches, more smugglers caches, more smugglers caches. The beautiful part about that is there is absolutely no slowdown to your map. You click the cache, you pick up the coins and your contracts or blueprints, and you leave immediately. The downside of this is you will have to sell these contracts to make your money. While you will get map progression, you will not get a lot of raw currency out of a setup like this. There are none of the league mechanics that you would normally use to give you currency. This is very, very quick progression. You will get some altar usage, but not very much. And it's just speeding through. So you will have to sell your heist stuff or run it. This is a lot more relevant in a private league than it is in trade, but still worth mentioning and definitely worth having on this sheet. All right, next up, we have red altars again, blights, and incursion with a little bit of heist for money dropped in. Again, heist is just there to sell things. You can skip them, but they are very profitable for very little work. So we tend to take them when we're pathing near them anyway. We tend to take them. The one thing that's worth noting on this is that we've also taken the Trial of Glory. Because of the lab rework, the suspicion here is that the improved offerings are going to be worth significantly more, at least early. So I've taken it in any tree that is over there or close to it or can take it. I've taken it. If that works out to be not the case, drop them. If it works out to be, oh, they aren't worth anything, nobody cares, drop those points. They're not important. So out of here, we're getting actually Alva temples, as well as all of our blight nodes. This node is questionable. I quite like it personally. I just like to have some maps, if I'm doing blight, that just drop with blight map naturally on them. But you could save a point by not taking it. It's really not important. You can probably just scarab it anyway. Up here, we've got the Incursion Temple. I don't take the Vile Flesh Merchant because honestly, I've never seen him drop anything worth money. If you have a different experience with that, you can take them. They are right there. If you do take them, repath slightly and just drop that one. You might as well get 1% more chance than a travel node, but that's fine. Blights are over here. Blights are over here. Alva temples are here. A little bit of heist contract stuff. More blight nodes. Everything that you need for your altars. Pretty simple tree. Moving on. Back to blue altars again. Blue altars harvest Betrayal and Abyss. Now, both Betrayal and Abyss make an alarmingly larger amount of money than I had known in the past. They're actually quite good. First of all, you just need all of your crafts. But second, many of those crafts, once you've unlocked them, are easily worth like 20 or 30 chaos on day 1 and 2 and 3. and sometimes even more, especially like Elrond jewelry is worth quite a bit, and quite a lot of them are actually worth quite a bit of money. Also, I find a lot of value in just unlocking your crafts as soon as possible. So if that's something, this will be the tree for you. Again, it's just Jun and Abyss and Harvest. Jun, Abyss, Harvest, and Blue Altars. That's all this one is. This is how it looks. It's great. Again, we're still around 100 points. So if you get more than that, the suggestion on this one would be to fill out the quant wheel first. And then in all honesty, anything with Harvest in it or Abyss in it, I quite like scaling pack size, which probably means I'm going to take the top hat here. You will notice that in my Abyss trees, I don't take this top area. It's because I'm more focused on profit than experience, on like money earned or loot dropped than experience gained. And this is a lot of points, but mostly this whole area here just gives you a buttload of extra XP. So if that's something you want, you might want to prioritize that. But otherwise, base tree for all of that, really good. Right, next one up is for speed mappers. Speed mappers, very quick people. This is Blue Altars, Legion, and Breach together. You can separate these out, but the tree allows you to do both of them at the same time, which is pretty OP. This is something like if you're on like a bow build or any other very, very quick clearing build and you want to just smash through fast, farmable, repeatable content, picking up all your splinters is a little bit, but otherwise, very, very quick style combat here. All that is all this is. I'm not going to go through this one point by point. It's pretty self-explanatory and the link is there, but that is all that is on here. Blue Altars, Legion, and Breach. Quite a good starting point. All right, the next one is this. The next one is for somebody who wants to spend a lot more time inside each individual map, which isn't me personally, but it is quite a lot of people. It should, in theory, still work out pretty profitable. So the next one is Beasts, Ultimatum, and Ritual, with a little bit of heist thrown in because free money and we're in the area. Again, you can drop the heist stuff if that's something you're not interested in. Pick up something else, it's fine. But Beasts, Ultimatum, and Ritual. So Ultimatum and Ritual are both going to stop you a lot in your maps, make you hang around in the area for a while. And Beasts, obviously, at League Start, usually take quite a bit extra to kill. So these maps will be quite a bit longer spent inside each map, but they should still work out pretty profitable. So through the Ironheart missions, great. There's your Smuggler's Cache stuff. There's your Smuggler's Cache stuff. Where's this one? Should have taken that one node. Don't know why I haven't taken that one node. Do take that one node. That's a good node. There's my Ultimatum wheel. Beast 3. You can go through in the link if you want to see the specifics of it. But that is what that one is. It is quite good. If you do beasts, these are the beasts that I like personally, but that doesn't mean they'll stay the best forever. And that doesn't mean I made the right choices. But if there are other choices to be made here, this doesn't change pathing. You just pick a different kind of beast. That's it. So that one should also be pretty good. And last but not least, we have a Permanent Delirium and Red Altar map. So this is actually a bit more experimental. I was very suspicious that getting as much Permanent Delirium in as many maps as I possibly could would actually be quite good for especially map sustain, but also potentially the new League mechanic whose name's escaped me suddenly because it's very late and I've been awake for a very long time. Affliction, that's the one. I have this like idea just stuck in my head that the like fairy dust from the Affliction realm will affect all of the Delirium monsters that already have quantum rarity bonuses, and that might end up being really, really good. So this is a little bit more experimental. I'm not sure 100% that I can suggest people do this, but it's Perma Delirium and some things that might give us a little bit more delirium reward tiles and such. This is one of the few where I'm using a lot of different blockers, because the idea is that I want to get as much delirium in my maps as possible. We do have some abyss there, because that's really good for delirium. Stream of consciousness, because other than putting delirium orbs on maps, there's no way that I guarantee that. So we do that to get a little bit more delirium in. Up here, again, the lab stuff is only there if we think lab is actually going to be money, which I suspect it will be, but if it works out not to be, drop it. Red altars, because we're over here. All the delirium nodes that we can get. This side is something you could drop or take last, or you could actually also drop this side or take it last, especially if you don't want the delirium bosses to show up. Realistically, you could put those points in last, just skip them. Until then, that's fine. I like this side. We did not go this side because Perma Delirium does not give orbs, but we do like cluster jewels, so we will come around that cluster jewel side to get a bunch more of those. And the splinter stack size part doesn't matter because it's Perma Delirium. We don't actually get stacks of splinters out. Otherwise, that's that tree. Should have more than enough map sustain. Should actually be quite good. Again, around 100 points. But this is the least guaranteed tree of this entire set. So use that one at your own risk. There will be some more probably added to my little document over the next few days. As I add them, they will appear in that same little document that's in the description. So if you don't like these ones, hopefully I'll come up with a new one before the league starts that you do like. Otherwise, that is all, and I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.